Hi friends! Today I'm going to show you how to rescue your thread painting stitches without unpicking them. I am not a fan of undoing all the work that I have just done because thread painting takes a lot of stitches, and having to unpick them and then redo everything is just not appealing to me. So instead I have come up with these ways that sort of erase these mistakes that I've made, either by blending them away or just layering on top. If you run into any other problems while thread painting that I didn't cover here, then just go ahead and leave me a comment and I will get back to you. All right, well, let's get started. This first issue happens to me when I am doing my French knots for my trees and bushes, and one of the French knots goes wrong, and the strands are loose or they don't get pulled through all the way, and it ends up looking like this. The fix for this problem is I come up in the cluster that I was working on and try and catch the bad French knot with my needle and kind of anchor it down with a new French knot. If you repeat this a couple times on the bad French knot, it ends up being camouflaged with the rest of the cluster. The next issue I run into often is when I'm doing long and short stitch, or like my overlapping straight stitches for my skies or level ground or hillsides, or anything that just requires lots of stitches going in the same direction. What can happen is one of my stitches is placed at an angle that doesn't go with the rest of the stitches, or a stitch kind of sticks up a little bit higher than the rest of them, and this is how I fix that. So to demonstrate this, I will create a stitch that is a little bit off kilter from the rest of the group and make it a little bit looser than I would normally like. And to fix this, all I have to do is continue to overlap these straight stitches on top of the bad stitch, and it will eventually blend the bad stitch away. I find I run into this next problem when creating the tops of curves for clouds or the tops of hills, for example, and the upper border of the stitching gets really thick as I'm trying to create that curve. To demonstrate this problem, I'm creating a thicker layer at the upper border of this curve. It's sort of an exaggerated example. I wouldn't normally add this many layers, but you can see that the top is starting to kind of bulge as it is raised higher off the base fabric than the stitches below. To fix these stitches and make it look more even throughout, all you need to do is go back down and sort of fill in the spaces that don't have as many stitches. You just need to be aware of your stitches and how many layers you're already at. Make sure to distribute them evenly over your base fabric, and in just being mindful while you're stitching, paying attention to this, you won't run into this problem as often. The last issue I'll demonstrate today is when you are trying to blend two colors and the gradient is really harsh in between them. To fix this, I go back with one strand of my darker color and sort of blend the two sections together. I'm not sure if it's just personal preference or if there's an actual reason behind this, but I feel like by blending the darker color into the lighter color, I get a more gradual blend as opposed to trying to blend the lighter color back into the darker color. Yeah, I don't know, but it just works for me. It's the way I like to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.